The AXI Icarus is on its way to the Pleaides Nebula as part of its weekly resupply trip to the bubble during deployment to the Witch Head Nebula. The purpose of this visit is to drop off Thargoid hearts we've collected to contribute to the Art of War Community Goal currently being run by the Anti-Xeno Initiative. Kate has collected 12 hearts this week, and they are to be delivered to the AXI flagship, the Astras, in Sterope 2. The number would have been greater, but Kate has been occupied with gaining 2 prestigious kills the past 2 weeks, and the following 2 videos will break the usual format of this series and explain the process of getting more Thargoids to join an instance, leading to the ultimate Thargoid kill, the Octagoid.
Landing gear deployed.
First of all though, Kate will take things back to basics and explain just how difficult this process is to complete and everything that can go wrong along the way.
What is a hyperdiction? A hyperdiction is an aggressive action taken by Thargoid vessels to pull you from hyperspace during a jump between systems. This only occurs after you've held a Thargoid sensor on your ship for any length of time. Thargoid sensors can be found at many locations, and a quick Google search will advise you of sources near the Thargoid hotspots. You do not have to engage in combat during a hyperdiction, and if you choose not to, they will follow a set pattern. After being pulled from hyperspace, one of the Thargoid interceptors will charge and deploy its shutdown field. This will render you immobile for 30 seconds. The Thargoid that fired the shutdown field will then scan you. Following the scan, the Thargoids will leave and your ship will power back up. So this process as is does not leave any opportunity for you to act. So first and foremost, we need to do something about getting shut down. The shutdown field neutralizer is a utility slot device that when charged acts to prevent the effect of the Thargoid energy surge. It takes a few seconds to charge and it must be held active until the energy surge has passed over your ship. It drains system capacitor very quickly. If your capacitor runs dry, the field neutralizer will deactivate. There is a substantial reload time between uses, so it is a one chance thing. When used during a hyperdiction, the Thargoid will immediately become suspicious of you and deploy its swarm when it sees you have not been shut down. This is purely a show of force and does not yet indicate an attack is about to come. In fact, in order to engage in combat, you will have to make the first attack. Following any kind of attack, the Thargoid will enter an aggro combat state, indicated by red lighting from the interceptor. You are now in combat with whatever Thargoids were present in the hyperdiction instance. Hyperdiction occurs around 1 in 5 jumps in areas 100 light-years around Merope in the Pleaides Nebula and 75 light-years around Witch Head Sector IR-W C1-9 near the Witch Head Nebula. That is a 20% chance on any jump in these areas. Each hyperdiction will be between 1 and 4 Thargoid interceptors that vary in rarity. Hydra combos are exceptionally rare at about 1 in 100 chance, whereas single Cyclops instances occur about 1 in 4. There are only 2 combos with 4 Thargoid interceptors, Medusa and 3 Cyclops, Hydra and 3 Basilisks. If you're inexperienced with multi-Goid combat, I would suggest starting with the multiple Cyclops instances. Double and triple Cyclops are very common and these will serve as a good introduction to fighting multiple Thargoid interceptors. We can, however, add more Thargoids to an instance. with a maximum of 1 extra Cyclops for each starting Goid in the instance. How do we summon extra Thargoids? Simple, we feed the Goids. Dropping meta-alloys, Thargoid sensors or Thargoid probes will trigger nearby interceptors to begin consuming them. If an interceptor consumes 5 of these items, it will summon a Cyclops to the instance. This is a one-time deal. However many you get to jump in straight away is all you will get, regardless of how many dropped items are still left, or how many interceptors have not yet summoned anything. But if you're lucky and avoid all of the many ways this can go wrong, each interceptor present will summon a Cyclops. This means that with a 4 Thargoid instance, we can get a maximum of 8 Thargoids total. This is an Octagoid.
Warning. Temperature critical. Energy surge detected. Target destroyed. Function. Heat sink deployed.
Now, the first hurdle is the fact that Thargoids lose interest quickly if there is nothing available for them to consume. So while it technically only takes 5 meta-alloys to summon one, in practice you need more, at least double, to keep the Thargoid interested in staying during the process of the new Thargoid jumping in. I would recommend taking 10 meta-alloys to any normal signal source and trying the summon process there first to get used to the timings and techniques. I will add that only during hyperdiction can you summon more than 1 Cyclops. At a non-human signal source or distress call, there is a hard limit regardless of how many Goids are present, that only a single Cyclops can be summoned. So here is what you do. Get your shutdown field neutralizer charged as soon as you hear energy surge detected, and hold it up until after the burst. For this first part, make sure you're in flight assist on. If you drift backwards when releasing the meta-alloy canisters, you risk the Goids flying into them as they try to keep up with you. Deploy your meta-alloy cargo before the Thargoids scan, and do this while rolling to spread them out. If you don't spread them out enough, the Goids will fight over them, and it is far less likely that any actual summon of new Goids will occur. After the scan is over, turn flight assist off and back away. The Goids will now begin to consume the meta-alloys. You want to back up a few kilometers but still be in range with your thermal vent beam. You will need this to aggro the Goids after more jump in. You want a situation where each Goid is going after a different meta-alloy. Remember, there can only be 1 round of summons, so you need all the Goids to consume the meta-alloys at around the same rate. If 2 Goids go for the same meta-alloy, those 2 will take too long to consume 5 and so will not summon anything. You can remedy this if you are quickly by targeting and destroying the meta-alloy they are fighting over. This does not aggro the Goids so long as your aim is good and you don't hit the Goids. This would have to be done very quickly though. Too much delay and either the Goids won't summon or the summons are too far apart and you can't cover all the shutdown fields with your single shutdown field neutralizer charge. You'll want to go silent running while you wait. Your heat will build up, but you can deploy heat sinks when it gets high to get it back down again. If you do not go silent running, there is a chance one of the Goids will detect you and go aggro randomly, which kills any chance of summoning, wasting all your meta-alloys. But if all goes well, you will hear the frameshift anomaly detected message, and 1 or more Goids will join the instance. Make a note of the time gap between the Goid sounds here. You really want them as close together as possible. You only have 1 neutralizer charge, and so if it cannot cover the time from the first energy burst to the last, you will be shut down for 30 seconds. And it is usually long enough for some of the Goids to lose interest and leave. There is also the chance that the energy surges will be so far apart you may think they're over. If you engage the target to this point, there is a significant chance of being shut down and destroyed. It's pure luck how close together the Goids jump in, so nothing you can do about it.
Warning. Temperature critical. Energy surge detected. Target destroyed.
With the new Goids present, you need to aggro them quickly. If they start their leaving animation, it cannot be interrupted, so hit all of them with your thermal vent beam, and I do mean all of them. Even if they look aggro, if they have not been hit, there is a chance they will leave after a minute or two of pursuit. You now have a stable instance with more than your original Goids. Well done. Now comes the hardest part. Get ready for a lot of jumping. Hours and hours of just jumping. As I said, the high prediction rate is around 20% at Thargoid hotspots, and the rarer Goid combos are 1 in 100 high predictions, so that means a rare will appear on average once every 500 jumps. There are some ways to speed up our process here, but if you want to do this, you have to really want to do it, because there are no real shortcuts around this. Don't forget that most of the time you won't even get the full number of Goids to join, so much of this relies on chance and luck. It can be demoralising to get all the summons you need only to be shut down because they join too far apart and have them leave. The best practice is to find 2 stars as close together as possible. This means you'll be able to get more jumps before needing fuel. When you are high predicted, quickly assess the Goids by sight, and if you don't want that matchup, immediately turn away and start boosting. You can use your field neutralizer while boosting away to save time, and if you start boosting before the shutdown field, the Goids will not pursue you very enthusiastically before they decide to jump away. Jump ready to use the neutralizer too. 4 pips to systems, 2 pips to engines, and have your field neutralizer fire group active. You will find that an overwhelming amount of the time, single Goids or all Cyclops combos come up. This is great when you are starting out, so please do engage them. But when you gain experience, this means the number of jumps goes up dramatically. If you have the skill to complete the kill at the end of it, this time is worth the investment, but it is a big ask. In the weeks of practice, both facing multiple Thargoids and in summoning Cyclops to join an instance, I would face many different combos, improving in ability each time. You can see all of these fights on the multi-Goid playlist on our channel. My personal favourite, and the most fun in my opinion, is the Medusa, Double Basilisk, Triple Cyclops. It isn't the most difficult fight, but it does not require special ammo or fully stocked synthesis materials, and has enough variety to make it interesting. My personal favourite, and you can also watch that on our channel if you wish.
Kate has spent many weeks learning the techniques and pitfalls of summoning Thargoids, in the hope of eventually being able to create both possible Octagoid instances. Medusa and 7 Cyclops, and Hydra with Triple Basilisk and 4 Cyclops. Would she be successful in this summoning endeavour? And more importantly, would she have the skill to complete the kills? Join us next time to find out.